So I found the squirrel on the floor. It was apparently trying to get a nut. And this one here is just watching the show. There's a squirrel trying to get a nut and someone else is just here for the show. So welcome to my show. I'm Natasha and I'm just now starting to try to work with the divine here on YouTube a little bit more rather than with my artistic expression and my alchemy art. But for now, I want to branch out a little bit. I want to rock with you guys through some divination and just kind of flower and see what comes about, you know? Because I am the high priestess and I have been developing my psychic abilities for a long time now. I have had quite the story recently and in my past, and I have been called to share my story. So not only do I want to come here and help other people, but I want to be able to do that in a way that helps you with whatever messages come through and show you the beauty and the magic of working with the Holy Spirit or the Divine Spirit, the energy, infinite energy, intelligence, universe, soul, source, whatever you want to subscribe to is fine with me. I am in favor of omonism and spirituality because it doesn't put us in a box, and I have fought my whole life to get out of this box. You know, I came from poverty, I came from abusive, dysfunctional homes, lots of addictions. Throughout my childhood and into my teenage years, I was able to, you know, fall into those traps a lot easier because that's what I grew up around. And, you know, no shade or anything like that, but that's just how the cookie crumbles, you know. And if you know, you know. So, closing time. If you come from a family that is very toxic or multiple families that are very toxic, you will understand where I come from. And if you do, I welcome you to my channel because we are here to help each other elevate through all of this. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world today that is unacceptable. And I spent my whole life fighting for the truth. I fought for the truth to understand things in life, to understand myself, my surroundings, you know, the energies around me, and being a gifted child, it was hard and empathic, especially neurodivergent and everything like that. And I was born in the 80s, and you know, mental health hasn't been a huge thing for a while until here recently. So we weren't aware of mental health, you know, issues that our parents were never able to treat themselves. And this is, oh, by the way, the Lovers. So this would be, I will consider myself whining and dining with the divine at this point, okay? So, but anyways, I was saying, with many options, we have many options in the world, and I have many options myself that I'm trying to work through. But the thing is that we are born into this world and we are programmed into things that we don't even understand. We don't even understand how the system works. We don't understand how our, you know, everything works. And our parents didn't have the luxury of understanding how their mental health works as well as we do in this generation. And what I have found from growing up as a gifted and talented young lady into my adulthood, I was diagnosed with ADHD just a couple of, was it 2021? So just 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with adult ADHD. I did have it in childhood, and I would venture to say that I am on the autism spectrum, but I have never taken that test. I do also suffer with, words matter, frequencies matter. I don't suffer anymore, but I am healing through chronic post-traumatic stress disorder. This is something that is, it comes about when you live a life with ongoing stress. So, it's basically a series of endless traumatic events. And somehow through all of that, because it was so hard, I was able to, it basically taught me that I had to be mindful. And as a child, you know, I found ways to self-soothe. I didn't have any treatment, any special counselor or anybody to talk to about growing up with gifts that other people just didn't seem to relate to. And sure enough, you know, over time, society will suppress you in ways because they don't understand, because our levels of consciousness and conscious awareness are not or haven't been to the level of understanding one another's differences. And we are here to literally help each other grow. And something that I have learned through working with the divine this year, God of the Most High, by any name, one and the same, as long as it's the Most High, I've realized that its essence, its energy, I don't like to characterize. Sometimes I'll say he, and that's just something that's programmed, so then I catch myself and it's like, I don't say God is he because it's not, it's genderless, obviously. We would know that if we were taught with open-mindedness. So I'm going to have to rewatch this. It's 5:55 on the clock right now. Because I'm going to have to, well, I'm just going to give you guys myself unfiltered, rather, because I want you to see, I just want you to see me. I want you to see me with all my quirkiness and quirks, and I just want to be able to deliver a message from the divine to help encourage you. Because I understand. If you've had to struggle mentally, emotionally, spiritually, leads to physically, I understand. I've struggled. And I have fought my way out of every single struggle with the positive attitude, mindfulness, grounding techniques. I played a lot of sports growing up. I expressed myself through poetry growing up a lot. I love to sing. I love to put on a show for those around me to make them happy, to make me happy. And so even though, you know, I've been going through a lot my whole life, it has inspired me to continue to move forward by being able to help others, or by bringing a smile to the faces around me. Also trying to help them see things from different views. And as a child, it was harder, more difficult, because I played devil's advocate and I was challenging everything. I was a rebel to everybody around me, but I'm not a rebel. Okay, I'm a rebel. All right, scratch, I am a rebel. But in playing devil's advocate, my goal was to learn different angles. I wanted to test the other side and go to the other side of the spectrum and ask the question, well, did you consider this? Or what if we consider this? And I know a lot of that thought process was frustrating for the people around me because they thought I was just challenging them. So, you know, people who grow up with neurodivergence, they think outside of the box. We do. And we're free thinkers, truth seekers, truth speakers, and we are here to disrupt the world, so to speak. And it's not even a bad thing. It's not meant in a bad way. It's almost like I don't even mean to. I just disrupt peace. I'm just like a walking trigger. And so it's been really hard, and it's been an emotional, you know, roller coaster, not understanding why growing up people couldn't relate, or why they seemed to be judgmental, or, you know, I felt like I didn't come across like a know-it-all, you know, but like I just wanted to learn it all as much as I could. So even if it comes off that way, I mean, I am pretty great. You know, we should be proud of ourselves when we really want to learn things and we challenge ourselves to do so our whole lives. Like, I've literally been studying my whole entire life to figure out the truths of life and why everything doesn't seem right. Like, it just doesn't seem right. So, of course, when you grow up in poverty, around dysfunction, abuse, you know, and you have spiritual gifts, it heightens your emotional receptors. So if you feel like you want to hang out and vibe with somebody who understands you deep inside, somebody who will not just speak to you surface level, but wants to get down in the nitty gritty and touch on uncomfortable subjects from time to time, if you want to take lessons from the divine on the greater good and not just on an individual level, if you seek collective peace,